What is up, YouTube? It's your boy CiaranPixelz here, and today we're playing Medicity. Whoa! Well, as you can tell, I haven't played this game in a while because I've been waiting each day for an update. I'm serious. I've been literally sitting on my PC looking at Game Joe every day. I wonder when the next update's gonna come out. It didn't for a while, but it's out now. Also, they made a demo, so yes, you can now play this game for 10 minutes. If you like it, you can buy it. Yeah, so let's get into this. What will be our city's name? Okay, as I'm thinking this will be a full-length episode, I say we should name the city. Let's see. So we had Croatia, Europe, Europe and Asia. We've already got them. So I think the next continent should be America. Okay, Chimerica. So you see these rocks? Alright. So we all start out kinda small. But okay. The town started around a single inn, which this inn was around this area. There was an inn and a house, very close. Now, this town every couple days would grow. The visitors, there weren't much visitors around here. Very kind of thing. Sometimes people would come, but there was only really, I think the maximum amount of people who would probably be in this area at once would be around 5. Which is not very much if you know anything about people. And you see, because of all these, people would always come around here, but it was very rare, people wouldn't really want to come. People were afraid because, at the time there was war around all the world. And many things changed. Eventually, more people started moving in. Though the population always was around under 10 at this rate. You'd never see any more than 10 people in the area. See, that's where this kind of town started being made from. So at this point, it was still a bit of rocks. And many people, like I said, were still scared. And this place would always rain, so it wasn't really a place that people would want to go to either. I mean, if you think about it, it wasn't really a place that anyone would want to go to. And you see, there was like all of these things, this was just a normal town. Nothing special. It would eventually get more sunny, but, nothing too big. Until the next house came in. This was where the town officially reached a population of 10. Being around 3 people in each house and 1 person permanently living in the inn. Which this is when the town celebrated You know, it was a small thing, but it was big. And that's what really mattered in the end. Because this town will grow, grow, and grow. And that's what they wanted. They wanted this town to grow, grow, and grow. And actually did end up growing. Though, when the population reached 10, many issues came up. It started being a lot of sunny, so people could start telling there was differences in temperatures and all stuff like that. You know, they'd buy these paths. And these paths weren't too friendly. Which, like I said, you want a path that is kind of, I don't know, just better. And, you know, like I said, the town started being rather, they built all these paths for it. Which is when construction started to get bigger. Making a town center. At the time, they had to evacuate everyone out of the houses, rather for construction purposes. It took them years. I mean, this town was very new in the terms, but it was kind of starting to be seen as a nice little place that you could go. Though the weather might not be that good, things started clearing up in the sky, you know, things got sunnier. And then the town got a new kind of appearance. And this was then rock started getting a lot. Then the second inn came in. Though the town was safely guarded because, well, you know, who would want to attack a tiny little town? Now, time would grow as this village has. And as this village would grow, it would, you know, it would grow. Wildlife would get better. And that's what I think matters in the end. See, more people started buying houses. Many people are starting to consider this place a village. They started making paths to it, which made it more accessible. And eventually, this place did become nice. People started to like how it was a nice place to get away from nature. And you know what they ended up doing? They started getting nice cooks. As they were hiring cooks, they needed workers who would live close. And that's because the weather wasn't the best, then they would also have troubles with their money and getting people to move in. See, it would cost money to build the houses, and as it wasn't a very best place for weather, many people didn't want to go move there, you know. Who wants to move in a rainy place? And eventually they did get enough cooks and all that to make nice food. more people started using the inns. At this point, there was more people who were using the inns than people who actually lived here. Now, many laws were put in around this time. They didn't want to see any, you know, extreme violence. So they started banning stuff, which made many people mad. And, yeah. They banned all use of drinks, which very revolutionary of its time, because, you know, they started banning everything, but everybody hated it. So this town at one point may not have existed if stuff like this carried on. And because of stuff like this, houses were kind of not working out. And because of all that, you know, this village was kind of dying. It started to increasingly drop tourism since, you know, they banned loads of things. That's when the government decided, hey, we need to change this stuff. They started undoing everything that they did, and tourism came back. But, you know, tourism wasn't really that big in, you know, the old age of the frickin' tribe age or whatever, medieval stuff. And because of that, you know, you didn't get much visitors here, right? You know, wasn't really much advertising back then. You know, you couldn't just see it on the interwebs. You'd have to put up frickin' chalk on people's walls in the big cities, because not even posters were mainstream at this point. Because of the increasing quickness of money, the city was really starting to come. It wasn't exactly a city, I'd rather say, rather than it was a village. But soon this village was gonna get a lot bigger. You see, though sadly there was a problem. The worst problem to ever face them. There was a rock. They didn't have the equipment to get rid of rocks, you see. So they just had to kind of wait. They had to wait until they could find enough money so they could eventually wait until the technology existed to remove giant rocks. It took them a very long time. It had gone years without no new additions. Tourism slowly died off, but the people who lived here for some reason decided to stay, which in the end might be the only reason the city exists. If those people moved away, the city would have just been forgotten, abandoned. And you know, the city was still fairly new. You know, this city was around 5 years old, and you know, I wouldn't even call it a city at this point, you know, like I said. And because of that, increasing money, which for their time, they were technically very rich with the money they had. But as big cities got more mainstream, tiny villages started to, you know, be a trend that started to become very, you know, not popular. So, one point tourism almost died in his place. But that's when they thought that they should get with times, make their village more attractive. So they said, you know what? We should make this village good. We should make it fun for the tourism. Make it good for living. Because back then, there were no shops. You had to walk down that path even to get your food. There was no farming around this area. You'd have to walk miles just to grab your food for next week. And that there was really very tiring. They got more with times at this point. And they thought, hey, you know what we should do? They said a motel could help, because, you know, motel would also be good for tourism. And if that was good, then that was good. That was it. So they were planning to build a motel. And as they were going to build a motel, they were going to have to be prepared, because, you know, they didn't want any houses falling apart. So they said, we will make America great again. And, you know, this worked. It's worked as a town. And many of the problems of the old town started going away. They were back with times. They were still not the most advanced town, but at this point, they were pretty advanced for a tiny village such as themselves. All these villagers, they wanted to make it the capital of the village. So but of course, that was short-lived because the building was too tall and people couldn't see. Something like that. Anyway, so, let's see, this came the town. It became nice. And pathing started getting way more advanced. These rocks were kind of an issue to make the town grow. See, look, right, so many paths would have to straight up build over the rocks, making the town look very not nice. So then they bought another motel, which is where they were going to make this a nice street. Nice street for all the villagers. That's when they decided to save up, so they could finally get enough to get the equipment to destroy a rock. They did not like rocks stopping them at all. I mean, streets, you could say, were filled with rocks. Huge rocks that, you know, they shouldn't be in a city. And, you know, at this point, they didn't want any war. They wanted war on rocks instead. They didn't want... They removed their very first rock. This sparked a new age. An age where they said, say no to rocks. Say no to rocks. Age of medievalness. They shut down the motels for a while because they wanted to expand the city. They wanted to stand out. And because of that, they wanted to become a huge city. A city that was never seen before. And that's when they got the very final thing. They got their very own. This is when growth just went over this was when things started to get better. But, like I said, this is when the town started to grow. Okay guys, check this game out. We will continue this next episode. If you like it, click the like button. But, yeah, we will continue with this town next episode.